So not only did this video spiral into multiple cease and desist letters, but I argue that NBC, the Italian Mafia, and the United States government have all begun altering their records from the years 2012 to 2018. And while this video started as an analysis of why Jimmy Fallon is annoying and I don't like him, this has clearly become a matter of national, even global interest.
48 minutes of dogs barking, 48 minutes of dogs barking, 48 minutes of dogs barking, 48 minutes of dogs barking. Growl. Growl. 48 minutes of dogs barking, 48 minutes of dogs barking.
Yeah.
Man, this food's really great.
Welcome to 48 minutes of dudes eating.
Not even like describing the food or anything.
Nope.
Like, just use your imagination. Food doesn't suck.
Yeah.
Food's pretty good.
Just think about it for a minute. It's a light cookie surrounding a peanut butter cup, but not like a regular size Reese's, like a teeny tiny one. Not turtles. It was the peanut cluster, like a Snickers bar, but made into a tiny cupcake, and it was just hit the spot, boy. I can feel the holiday cheer entering my body right now as I go. Well, it's light and crunchy. And it has that, have that homemade feel. You can put salt on it after baking. Because a lot of people, in my extended family at least, when they make cookies, they'll end up either being too soft. They're trying to do the whole soft-baked whole house thing. Yeah, and sometimes a cookie's got to be hard.
Gotta have a bite.
Yeah, there's got to be some crispness because then you get the full flavor there. And boy, can't have done it better. Like this is
My great aunt is amazing.
Yeah,
like her cooking just in general is fantastic. I mean, my grandmother, her sister, was also a fantastic cook.
That's fantastic. Well, I appreciate you bringing this in. It's,
yeah, kind of a long, rough day for me.
Yeah, you feel comfortable talking about it?
Yeah, I can talk about it a little bit. Yeah. Had to put the family dog down today.
Oh, man.
Not so great.
Was that your dog growing up?
No, because that dog would probably be like 25 years old.
Gotcha.
Now.
Fair enough.
Just be something like assisted with tubes.
Right.
It's technically the cells are still alive,
Some kind of weird-ass Doctor Who thing where it's
something out of I have no mouth and I must scream.
Yeah.
You ever play the PC game?
Not all the way through. I've heard a lot of good things about it.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah, adventure games, point and click stuff was really hard for me. I didn't have the brain power to put some of those puzzles together, but yeah, had to put the dog down and like was really tough in a lot of ways because like obviously the holidays are here and it's a bad time to want to put your pet down, and it was a good dog, like a rescue. Yeah.
We assumed that she was like someone's breeder dog, and
really,
I guess when she was no longer able to be useful in that way, it was just like dumped on the side of the road. So it was this Rottweiler mix. I mean, he was absolutely emaciated, like the saddest dog you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Got her healthy, and spent. I think my mom got her in like 2016 or 17, so that's a pretty good chunk of.
Yeah,
you don't see old Rottweilers because Rottweilers don't live that long.
That's very true.
I feel
yeah,
like it's a pretty good run for a Rottie mix.
No matter how long a life, or no matter how well loved an animal was.
Oh yeah,
still...
I mean, we went through all the stages of grief at the vet. Like, is there something we could do so we could have like another day? And like the vet was like, I can give you painkillers, but like that doesn't mean that like over in the night. It doesn't get worse. Like, you could take her home, but you could wake up to a much more upsetting situation in the morning. And like, my mom was like, is there like an emergency vet? And like, Mom, you've done this before. Emergency, I don't want you to spend $5,000.
I was going to say, yeah, we did an emergency vet for Gibson when he was 6 months old, but, and that was a huge chunk of change. And we were not in the financial situation that we are in now. And it was like, well, there goes our couch fund.
Yeah,
fuck
your couch.
Yeah, literally.
We're having a cat. But yeah, I mean, it also probably should exercise her a little bit more. But the thing is, like, the dog obviously came from such a traumatic.
The dog came from circumstances.
The dog most certainly came from circumstances. So really, just like giving the dog just like a nice, pleasant existence, just seemed to kind of be like the easiest and probably the best thing to do. Like,
yeah,
just let the dog chill. But it was like tough, like bringing her in for all of this. Is that like, this is a dog that I, not fucking joking, everyone loves this dog once they met it.
Sure.
All the ladies that worked at the vet's office are all like choking up.
Yeah.
Which is not making everything else easy.
No, yeah. So once you see other people doing it too, you're like, oh yeah, this is hitting. This is real. Yeah.
Yeah, this is really fucking happening. Yeah, that's not where I thought my day was gonna go.
Right.
Like,
well, yeah. One would hope not. Yeah. Fuck.
We thought like the dog just had like a fever, and I'm like, man, this dog's old as shit. Like, what's the odds here? And like, okay, I'll help. And
That's always in the back of your mind when you got an old pet. Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. I mean, we discussed like, oh, what if we got like a proper ultrasound or something?
Yeah.
But then like, I mean, you're literally then loving something to death.
At a certain point, it's
Selfish.
quality of life. Yeah.
Quality of life. This animal's suffering. I had to be the one to say it.
Sure. Because I mean, I know I'm willing to bet that your mom is just not in that mind space. Like this isn't even a decision that she could probably fathom because of this weight that's coming down. Like it
was rough.
Yeah.
I mean, she's got another dog, but I mean, this
still
was the dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you have like pets that are great, you love, you miss them when they're gone, but like this was like the pet.
dog. Yeah. Yeah. I'm having that same thing. My cat Gibson is 17, and he's getting slow, he's getting frail, he cries a lot, and he wants to go outside. And every time he goes outside, I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm gonna open the door and he's gonna pass because he doesn't want to be around me when he goes. But he's still just crying at the door. Like, okay, well, I guess I'll let you back in.
Unreal shit.
Yeah. And,
why couldn't you go freak out some kids on their way to school next morning?
Man. I wouldn't let him be missing for that long.
Sure.
I'll put it that way. Because he's been a very snuggly boy since day one, and he sleeps with us all the time. And like I would notice, oh wait, where'd he go? It's one of those weird things where my wife and I have been talking, and like, yeah, this is probably going to be Gibson's last Christmas, and it was just like, why did I say that? Now that's all I'm going to be thinking about for the next 2 days. And,
I thought you were going to think like, so how are we going to kill the cat? Like,
no.
Force. You're going to spin it really hard in a trash bag.
Drop him off at River to Pear and see if he comes home. No.
See if he can survive the night in the radioactive runoff water.
That cat probably would, just be
thrive.
Yeah, probably show up next morning. Hey guys, what's up? Yeah, he's killed opossums. He's got animals much bigger than him, and
oh shit, man, there was a fucking possum chilling with your cats when I was leaving last week.
Yeah, that's so weird because the one cat, Cora, the big black cat, she's usually the one that's like really aggressive about territory, and so the fact that she was chilling with a possum. She sent me a picture of the possum just hanging out in the backyard. I'm like, yeah, the black cat was out there when it was happening.
They were like, the cats were just like on the stoop, just being like, I don't know about this. And the possum was in the flower bed, just being like screaming at its own ass or whatever. And
truly bizarre.
It kind of took, I know possums are pretty harmless. So I'm just like, oh, it's a possum.
Sure.
I don't really expect to see a possum in the city.
I've seen a bunch, especially
I see them, but
they come out from the park, because we're right close to Tower Grove, and so like they come up from the park, and a lot of them really like to walk the alleys and go in the trash cans and stuff, and they hang out in people's backyards. So I mean, they're a lot more frequent than you'd think. One of the nights I was working overnights out here in the chalet, and I hear this weird noise, and it was like whoa, 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 whoa. What the fuck is that? So I open this door, and I come face to face with 3 raccoons.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a raccoon sound now that you mention it.
And they're just like, what? And they all just look at me, and they take off. So it was very odd. We see a lot of that stuff. Hawks will sit out on the stop signs and just like hang out there, and then they'll just take off.
See you living.
Yeah. What a day.
What a day. I literally just like left the vet like an hour and a half ago. I got to stop in my apartment, take some medicine and stuff. And
right.
I usually take time to shower and change. I'm in my work clothes. Like I usually show up here looking like the guy that if you were at a strip club and saw a bachelor party coming in, you'd be like, oh, that's the guy who's going to be a problem. Everything about this guy says bad credit. And he's going to see what he can get away with tonight.
He's received many past due notices from Rockford Fosgate.
Rockford Fosgate, National Geographic.
The subscription service for bacon, just he's
I brag that Blue Apron can't send me the collections because they don't have my social.
exactly.
He can't keep getting away with it.
Yeah.
Some guy at Blue Apron like, fuck.
God damn it, he's too good. He's got a serious collection of cassettes from Columbia House because he just kept cycling through
Columbia House. I think the saddest thing I ever did as a kid was like fill those out and then like just never send them.
Oh
obviously.
man, yeah, wishful thinking, I guess.
Yeah, I really want that Soundgarden record, or Collective Soul, or whatever. Oh, and I can get Weird Al. Sick.
I did BMG. That was the one that I wound up going through. It was because of BMG that I found a couple of bands that would then become my favorites. They did a compilation one time where it was like whatever genre of stuff that you initially ordered, they'd be like, oh, well, here's a CD of this. And it was like rock music. And one was the German band Fury in the Slaughterhouse, a couple tracks on there. It was the British band Sleeper, Champaign, Illinois' Hum, the band Hum there, and then a couple other, I can't remember the other, but those three were like in heavy rotation, and I eventually became like huge fans of those bands, and I think I'm all better for it. So it was very strange. I subscribed to this. I didn't like any of the stuff they picked other than that. It was always, the record of the month is the new Bon Jovi album. Like, no, thank you.
God,
I'm good.
Like the mid-90s, so it's not even like...
Not even the good Bon Jovi albums.
It's not even like Bon Jovi you can like act like.
No, yeah, you can't bluff your way through it.
Indefensible.
Yeah, Harry Connick Jr.'s She, though, was one of the monthly things, and I still enjoy that record. It's weird that I enjoy that, because it definitely doesn't sound like the thing.
Here's that Sean Lynn record that...
I don't think they were that cool. I don't think they had their finger on the pulse like that. It was just like, hey, it was a song that was a hit on the radio for 3 months. Here's the full record. I'm like, I really do not need the Robin Hood Prince of Thieves soundtrack. I promise you I do not. On CD, no less.
It's time for your mom's favorite part of the show. It's time for the breath mint.
You want to get right into it, or
Let's pop it in, man.
Let's pop it in, baby. All right, so it is 48 minutes of dogs barking, as we mentioned before. Welcome to the show. My name's Jason. This is Brian. This is an extended New Year's version of the show. As we did last year, we're going to tell you what our best of 2023 was. So, Brian, where do you want to start? Because I know a lot of things took off 2023. I've got a few categories, if you will. Where do you want to start?
Let's start with movies.
Movies, okay. Well, I think you and I are going to agree on this one. My number one, all year long, Beau is Afraid.
Yeah.
Beau is Afraid. Holy shit. I loved Midsummer. I loved Hereditary. And I thought, okay, Ari Aster is just going to continue doing what he's done before. Stylish, moody, horror thrillers with interesting things happening visually. And he did something completely out of left field, is that he made the darkest comedy that I think I've ever seen. It is so absurd. Slapstick, mad dash, cavalcade of nonsense. It's anxiety-provoking. It's pretty much the most anxious I've felt during a movie since Uncut Gems.
I want to say since Uncut Gems or Record.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Oh, wow. That wasn't Lars von Trier, was it? No, that was
the remake of the Spanish horror film.
Okay. Yeah. Boy, what a...
It's one of those things where the American version and the original Spanish version are actually both very good. Yeah,
much like The Ring, when The Ring remake came out. Yeah. Refresh my memory. That's a found footage movie, right?
Yeah, so that's the one where, like, if we're just going, it's been a while since I've seen the Spanish one, but
yeah.
So the American version, it's a late night reporter, and she's doing a piece where she is doing a ride along with a fire department. The fire department gets this call to a apartment complex, and then finds out there's some sort of weird demonic rabies.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Infesting everyone, and I think it's a great horror film. I think it's one of the best horror films of the aughts.
As far as found footage go, it's probably up there as well. Like, there's a few other contenders, but that one, pretty damn good.
It's pretty damn fucking good, yeah.
But yeah, boy, Beau is Afraid. What a surprise! I really felt surprised every few minutes there was something
Yeah.
in that movie that shook you or took you out of your comfort zone or just freaked you the fuck out. Like,
Yeah.
not in a horror way, but in this kind of grim comedy way. I'm trying to think of like what other movie is
Like
dark and funny.
Delicatessen, maybe?
Yeah, okay. Other Genet stuff too. There's some really funny moments in like City of Lost Children that have that vibe, or
Radiator.
yeah, exactly. See, all it was missing was that guy. You know, the guy who's in every Genet movie.
Oh, the guy who's like the Robin Williams of France.
Yes.
The guy who's the professor or whatever.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. That's right. Okay, so he's
the cripple in Alien Resurrection.
That's exactly right. Yeah, that's the guy. Him and Ron Perlman are now in every Genet movie. Actually, I did see a new Genet this year, which I thought would not happen, and the name escapes me. I'm going to look this up. It was some dumb name that had nothing to do with the movie itself.
I hate to say it, outside of like Amelie, Save Lost Children, Delicatessen, and like parts of Alien Resurrection, like he has not done a lot of good stuff. He is like the Rick Rubin of movie directors. Like he's done some stuff that like blew everyone's fucking mind. And he's also done some shit that's like below straight to video.
And that's exactly what happened to this one. Okay. It was called Big Bug. Which is a dumb name. It's a dumb name for a film, and I don't care.
He also did a movie like a year or two ago for Netflix that no one has talked about.
That's Big Bug.
About the robot
AI
shit?
Yep. So it's set in this Jetson-style future where these like suburbanites are hanging out, and then an android uprising causes them to be stuck in the house. And some of the androids become murderous, and some of them become extremely horny because it's a French movie.
Oh, I'm the horny robot.
And it's so absurd. It tries to swing for the fences and be this really big, broad comedy, but it just falls so fucking flat. I can't even recommend it as like a hate watch. Like, it doesn't live up to any other reputation. You know, it's not a good movie. It's not a good Genet movie. It's not a good Android movie. It's not even a good bad movie. For being something from a guy who's usually considered like, oh, he's got this unique style. It feels like he
boundary pushing and all that.
Yeah.
I mean,
feels like he phoned it in.
I feel like he's been doing that for about 20 years now. Honestly,
ever since Alien, the fourth Alien movie.
Like when I worked at Blockbuster. In like 2009, 2010, we got one of his movies that had the French Bill Cosby or where the fuck, and it was really bad. And I was like, oh, it's the guy who did City Lost Children, or one of the guys who did City Lost Children. And I rented it, and I'm like, man, this is rough, even by like pretentious French movie standards.
Oh, was that Micmacs?
Maybe.
What a weird track record. Amelie, Delicatessen, City of Lost Children.
It's one of my favorites of all time.
I really enjoyed his his version of The English Patient, which was called A Very Long Engagement. It also had Audrey Tautou in it. It was a love story, and it was very subdued for him. You know, it was very, not necessarily Hollywood, but definitely old school. And now what? Like, we're doing these really odd sci-fi movies. But anyway, Beau is Afraid had moments that struck me as like that style of thing, which is kind of taking a back seat these days. I feel like there's nobody doing something that odd. You know what I mean? Like, there's maybe one or two. Obviously, if David Lynch comes out with something new, we're going to have that debate again. But, you know, like, I'm trying to think, like, what are the other weird movies I've seen this year? And they're mostly either takes on other formulas or...
Right. I mean, they're all probably all by A24.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff.
I mean, like X.
That's true. Yeah, X and Pearl.
I
Maxine next year. It's coming up, baby.
I saw that. I'm excited. I think Beau is Afraid just really encapsulates so many elements of being like an anxious person.
Yes.
I got in trouble last time. I think we talked about Beau is Afraid because I mentioned that, like, you know, if Beau is Afraid, it doesn't relate to you. You probably had like a really nice childhood and like probably had a horse. And my girlfriend had to remind me that she grew up with a horse.
Okay, well,
she didn't have necessarily like a picturesque upbringing. And I'm like, touche. I was like thinking more like someone that went to like a visitation academy.
Yeah,
and like
waspy,
very waspy. their dad's like Brown Crouppen or some shit, some high priced lawyer.
Right. So some big law firm. My dad owns a dealership kind of style. Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to high school with a bunch of dad owns a dealership guys, and guess where they work now?
At the dealership,
That's
because
right.
they failed out their first semester at SEMO.
Nailed it in one. But yeah, this year A24 was doing some stuff. Dick's the Musical, I mentioned that. Not a great movie, but it swung for the fences at least. They released Priscilla, which is the antidote to Baz Luhrmann's Elvis, because it is about how Elvis groomed his young child bride.
Yep.
Let's see here. They had Zone of Interest, which I'm very interested in, but I have yet to see. Let's see here. The Nick Cage vehicle dream scenario, him trying to get back into his Charlie Kaufman weird vibes, which I wholly appreciate.
Absolutely.
Please do some more of that. And everybody talked about Past Lives and about how good it was. I still have yet to see that one. Very excited to check that. Oh, and the Iron Claw, brand new one, just came out. Isn't that that's the one about professional wrestling?
That's
right?
about the Von Erichs, which is
Okay.
probably one of the most tragic stories in professional wrestling. Just Dark Side of the Ring did like a 2-parter like a year or two ago about the Von Erichs.
Okay.
It's just one of those things like, wow, that is a fucked up story, and then you kind of forget about it. All you just remember is like, that is holy fucked. And that's kind of the thing that apparently it's like fucking with some people that are seeing the Iron Claw that like don't know a lot about wrestling. They think it's like, something a little bit less depressing than like say The Wrestler, but it's like not.
No.
And you're like, no, this is like Cannibal Holocaust, a wrestling movie. Like this is just like a family just like driven by like a patriarchal father who just can't have anything less than perfection. And just like his son, like his children, like they die from drug overdoses, die in freak accidents, I think suicide. Wow. And like there's one Von Erich. Now there's like grandsons and great grandsons, I think, that like wrestle in like the indies, but like from that Von Erich generation, there's only one son left, and I think he's like a hippie dude out in Hawaii now or some shit. It's wild.
Yeah, I mean, if that was your upbringing, I can certainly see going the exact opposite direction. But yeah, I love a good wrestling movie. The last good one I saw was The Wrestler, but I haven't seen a really good one since. Fighting with My Family was all right, but it was purely a WWE product, big quotes, It was very much like, this is advertising for Raw, like it was very...
Yeah, it felt very transparent. I only seen a little bit of it, and I'm like, I can't do this.
Ultimately, once you get through the movie, it's not really worth the time. The only WWE thing that I found really good in the past couple of years was they were trying to get on the DreamWorks Pixar train, and they did that monster wrestling movie. Will Arnett is the main character in it, which is okay.
The fuck are you talking about?
There was a CGI monster, like a kaiju wrestling movie, starring Will Arnett. It was a WWE. It's called Rumble. The name of the movie is Rumble.
Oh.
So a teenage girl, her father used to be a wrestling coach for giant monsters, your Godzillas and your whatnots.
Yeah.
And so she takes up the dad's mantle and trains this schlubby, kind of fat monster who's lazy and makes him into a pro wrestler.
Huh. Okay.
So for like a family movie, really fun. It talks about how like wrestling is actually a thing, like it's interesting. Anyway, got way far afield there.
But yeah, Beau is Afraid.
Beau is Afraid. Great movie.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
No wrestling in that though. No wrestling.
No wrestling. There's lots of scary things, scary people.
I do love that Parker Posey has a great role. Short, but great role in that. I love Parker.
She's only in it for like 15 minutes, and
but not only does every action move the plot along, but she's just a hoot. She's a hoot. Love her.
Yeah, so it's a great little movie. I think more people should watch it. Apparently, Ari Aster is very disappointed with the reception it got.
Really?
But I don't know, man. You made a 3-hour-long movie about anxiety.
What did you think was going to happen?
Mommy drama.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever saw that tweet where it's like normal person. I didn't like Beau is Afraid, and then like the second one is like highly neurotic Jewish man. It's not for you.
Yes. Even though I'm not Jewish, highly neurotic person. I got to give the number 2 slot to Oppenheimer. Again, I think we agree a lot on this one. Oppenheimer, a big ballsy biopic that you don't really see a lot of those for, like, on paper boring people. like
Yeah.
J. Robert Oppenheimer he's just a guy, right? He liked being in the wilderness and being on horseback and physics, and like that was his deal. But the way that Nolan presents it, there's some neat little fudging of historical facts. There's some stuff where you're definitely given an insight into his mind. That kind of hard to tell whether that was an invention of the film. A stacked cast. Cillian Murphy doing an all-time best. Still haven't seen Peaky Blinders, so I can't speak for whether that show is better than this film.
Good.
Emily Blunt. You got your Florence Pugh. Poe. I always say her name wrong. Poe. You got your Matt Damon in a subdued performance, which I always like to see him in. Boy, Gary Oldman as Truman. Again, very short scene. Kills it. There's some Robert Downey Jr. A lot of performance there. Again, very subdued, and I think that's Nolan's way. You're going to take an actor, and you're going to, like, rein him in a little bit. And I think that works. It works for the style of the film. It works for the time period. It works for the subject matter. Because, you're not going to have these big bombastic people. They're dealing with some serious shit, and they're kind of be reserved a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's a movie about big moments and big decisions, not necessarily big personalities or big people. The people that are the big personalities are Robert Downey Jr.'s character, or like, Gary Oldman. Like,
yeah,
they're like the big personalities. They kind of carry that part of the narrative. I think the first 20 or so minutes are pretty bad.
It does take a minute to find its footing.
Yeah, because it was definitely like, what the fuck am I watching? And it was like really one of those things where like, are we about to go get our money back? No, I'm not joking.
No, I can see that. I can definitely see how
because it really, that's probably I think the biggest flaw of the film. It's not Florence Poe dry humping in an office room.
Wait, wasn't that for 3 hours? Is the weakness of the movie? Is what you're saying?
It's not that for 3 hours.
But talk about another 3-hour movie. I mean, Oppenheimer was long, and it did not feel its length.
It did not at all. It moved really well. Really, aside from that first segment, like once you got to the part where he's at the party,
yes,
and Florence Poe's characters introduced.
As soon as he meets Jean, it's firecrackers.
I feel like then it really starts moving in the right direction, and just the cinematography is really top notch. The fact that it was all filmed in IMAX.
Oh wow! And then cropped for the 60 by or the 60 by 9.
I forget this particular aspect of the process, but I believe like they had like used special lenses, and so you're just getting a level of detail that you normally don't see. And we saw like the 80mm print.
Oh wow! So you had
like,
the big experience. Yeah.
The image was so sharp that you could see like the ambient dust particles in the focal plane, like while people were talking, particularly when they were like outside. So like I've never seen anything that detailed where it's just like you see dust in the air like that. Like you see the particles.
And I think that was on purpose. There's a lot of references to particles, rain, there's all these visual motifs so I'm sure that was in keeping with the style of the film as well.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of that on the home release, even with the projector out here. I didn't quite catch all that because
well,
of
you
course,
really do need to see it in IMAX because it's really one of the few films that like, oh no, this is exactly how it's meant to be seen. Some people took criticism that like, oh, this is rehabilitating Oppenheimer because you know.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think I don't really walk away from that movie with like a lot of empathy for him.
No, it tries to have it both ways, and I think it succeeds, which is hard for a movie like this. It tries to both excuse Oppenheimer's early years as kind of being his wild days, but as he gets involved in the Trinity Project, Trinity Test, Manhattan Project, he's consumed by this, and then once the Trinity Test happens, you really see the fallout, in his personal life and his professional life. He's kind of iced out of all these situations, but also you can see it on Cillian's face, this weight that's kind of crushed him physically too. Even in the flashback scenes in the early film, he looks gaunt. You sense this, I don't know, pressure, pain, something has happened.
Tension. There, like a man who is in some level like trying not to crack.
Yeah.
Part of what Cillian Murphy's performance, part of what makes it really interesting is that it really does feel like a guy who could just start kind of weeping at any moment.
He feels on edge. And you, as the audience, going along with him between these timepieces, at least in the opening, you're not sure where you stand, but then eventually it starts to calm down a bit, and you go, oh, this has destroyed him.
Right.
You start to get the sense of the man.
And yeah, you should feel like
you
that.
You should. Yeah, that's...
Yeah. So what did you have running in your mind of what Einstein had said to Oppenheimer at the lake that got
Oh, wow.
him all fought up?
It wasn't what they actually revealed at the end of the movie. I had thought it was something about like him repeating back to him, like, now we are all sons of bitches, or something like that. Like, yeah, you were right when you said that, or something, something to where Einstein also felt the depth of it. But the way what the film explains is probably as close to that as you can get without actually knowing. But yeah, you're right. This is actually going to destroy the world. Not the way you thought, but
there was the thought that, like, what if you ignite the entire atmosphere?
And that is brought up multiple times in the movie, and it is certainly a central piece of tension, even though, since it's a historical drama, that's not what happened.
Yet
it's still given this palpable sense that, like, maybe we are going to cause this annihilation.
You really do get in that moment, in that mindset.
It really absorbs you in that way that, like, you believe for a moment that this could happen, even though it didn't. It's still in the back of your mind, like, and that's intentional. It's meant to ratchet up that sense of unease.
I thought he said something like Beavis's butthead son.
That's canon, by the way.
That's canon. What if I told you? A very interesting theory, Oppenheimer. What if the Beavis was the son of the butthead? What'd you say to him?
So I've got a lot of ties for third place because, boy, a lot of good movies came out this year. I'm going to go ahead and just drop the honorable mentions and a brief thing about them. Asteroid City, love me some Wes Anderson.
I haven't seen that yet. I know it's on HBO or Max.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, I know. It's on Max. Gotta recommend it, if for nothing more than Tom Hanks in a Wes Anderson movie where he gets to stretch out a little bit, which is nice. I'd love to see Jason Schwartzman in a
He doesn't act like he's crushing a diamond in his ass the whole entire time. Well, isn't Tom Hanks in there because Bill Murray isn't?
Correct. Yes, but honestly, it's a good choice. If you're gonna have me choose between the two, I will choose either one of them, but I think Tom Hanks was great. Jason Schwartzman in the lead, for the first time in a while since Rushmore, I think, in the lead of a Wes Anderson movie. He's playing kind of this Wes Anderson stand-in character who's going through it. You got your Scarlett Johansson, love her. A brief Margot Robbie cameo near the end of the movie. Jeff Goldblum does a voice in it. A lot of what you'd think of now is kind of the Wes Anderson retinue of regulars. It's great. There's some really goofy moments that just kind of stand out. Maya Hawke, Ethan Hawke, and Uma Thurman's kid is in it. There's just some real fun moments, but there are also there's some genuine darkness, which is something that I think has been missing from the last Wes Anderson. Like even French Dispatch, as dark as it would get sometimes, it felt like it was kind of like shying away from it and deflecting with a joke at all these wrong moments. And I think Asteroid City instead leans in, and there's just some heartbreak in this movie. And it's this last scene. It's really hard to describe without spoiling it, but essentially it breaks the fiction of what you're watching, because what you're watching is presented as a film that is also a stage play, that is also an account of something that really happened. So during the stage play portion, Schwartzman literally walks behind him, breaks out of the reality of what you're watching into black and white, which is supposedly our reality, walks across a catwalk, and there is Margot Robbie, his actual actress wife, who is starring in something in the next building over. So they're standing on the fire escape talking to each other. Your scene got cut from the movie. It breaks reality for a moment, but then it also, between the two characters, there's this genuine moment, and then it goes right back to what you were watching before, and you're like, what just happened? Some people saw that as a weakness. Wait, you just took me completely out of what you were doing and had this whole other moment with a character. But it happens at the point in the movie that's in color where the character that Schwartzman's playing has just had this epiphany about the relationship with an actress who he's chasing. And so the reality and the fiction collide in that moment. And I think it's kind of neat. Kind of like Wes Anderson kind of playing a little bit. Kind of having a little fun. It feels playful, which is nice. I always like to see that. Speaking of playful, Megan, the killer robot movie. I love killer robot movies. I love horror movies, and I love horror movies that are PG-13 because my kids are 13 now, so I get to see a lot more of them with them. Not really much else.
Megan was a lot of fun.
Not really much else to write home about, though. I mean, Jennifer Connelly has a bit part in that. Best death by pressure washer I've seen on a film.
Forgot about that.
Unfortunately, there is some harm to dogs, so anyone who does not feel comfortable watching a film where a dog comes to harm, maybe skip that one. Enjoyed that. There's a great little Terminator riff at the end, too, which I thought was real fun. Mm-hmm. And the other honorable mention, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Mutant Mayhem is great. Ice Cube is in it. Jackie Chan.
Oh, man.
Ice Cube, Jackie Chan. Seth
Happy
Rogen.
birthday, Jackie Chan.
Happy birthday, Jackie Chan. The 4 kids, actual kids who play the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, great. The art style looks ripped straight from Eastman and Laird's comics. There's many just wonderful old school hip hop tracks sprinkled throughout. There's so many just dazzling visuals that happen constantly. It's eye candy. Turns into a kaiju movie at the end because why not? There's nothing not to like. It's just a fun movie. My real actual top 3 ends with Barbie. I got to say Barbie, fun. Feminism light, feminism.
It's
101.
very much like we'd be at brunch now.
Oh, it's no mistake that Kate McKinnon is in the movie. I'm sure that's part of it. Yeah, it definitely does have some real wine mom shit lib
Some
talking
fucking
points.
pussy
But
hat shit.
but at the same
Hey,
time,
black women should be thankful that us white women let them have rights. Kind of shit.
Other than that, boy, Ryan Gosling, as I mentioned before, big fan, steals the show, sings and dances his ass off.
And Ryan Gosling's probably the best part of it.
Yeah, which is really unfortunate because Margot Robbie is no
she's
slouch either.
She's great.
Just completely outshined.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling, the man grilling a single portobello mushroom.
All I can think of is his character in La La Land.
God, I fucking hated that movie.
You did?
I fucking was seething.
Really? Why?
Who's the chick in the remake of Parent Trap?
Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan, there we go. I thought that was Lindsay Lohan and she had bad work done. And I was like, wait, that's Emma Stone?
It's Emma Stone, yeah.
It took me like 2/3 of the movie. I'm like...
Okay. That's a choice.
It feels like a face blindness.
Did you forget
thing.
your glasses? What was that? They look nothing alike.
I think Emma Stone has some bad work on her face.
Entirely possible.
That new movie she's in.
Poor things. Yeah.
It's like, is there prosthetics? Did you bleach her face?
Hard to tell.
I'm not trying to comment on a woman's look, but there's sometimes it's just like, oh, you shouldn't have done that if you did something. It becomes I am sorry that happened to you.
Maybe she lost some weight. Maybe she gained some weight. That can fuck with your face too. Like there's some reasons why that can happen. But no, her performance is great in that movie too.
It's just great. I just think that movie is. I was like buying on fucking tinfoil.
Really? Is it musicals that you don't like, or is it movies about wanting to be in the movies that you don't like? Because it's kind of,
I'm not a big fan of musicals, and then like shit that's kind of like navel gazing at like, look, we're in the hills, look, we're in LA.
Yeah.
Like I'm not always a big fan of that because like I've been to LA. I think it's fun. I also think it smelled like piss.
Right.
It's like, oh, cool. Like I saw that in the movie one time. Still smells like piss.
That's fair.
It's fucking the longing for a world that never. It's definitely the fucking return for theater kids.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Unfortunately, as a former theater kid, I was engrossed by the movie. I liked everybody's in it. Anyway, how about you, Brian? Do you have a brief rundown of your top things?
I'm going to say that we're going to be very similar here. I think Beau is Afraid still is my number one.
For sure.
Even though I've commented a few times already that the second viewing did not get me the same way the first viewing did. There's still just a lot of masterful stuff. That first segment when he's in the city is still
every
amazing.
Paranoid right winger's worst nightmare.
The birthday boy killer.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
And the birthday boy killer. It's like
and it's just a naked old man with a knife.
Yeah.
And I think even like the TV thing, he's naked and he's just like, fuck you. Yeah, the whole first segment with in the city is fucking amazing. The part with Nathan Lane is surreal. I don't know if you saw the photo of the two young ladies that went as Halloween as the daughter who drank the paint.
No.
They like took like paint cans, cleaned them out.
Yeah.
And then filled them with booze, I'm sure. But
sure.
But add food dye so it looked like the blue paint. And they had like the fake blue paint like going down like their chin and stuff.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing. Yeah, like I think that movie it's about the anxiety of a certain type of person who has a certain type of relationship with their family, just in general.
Right.
But I think it also scratches like at the paranoia and like the shortcomings of the American psyche. Perhaps even go as far as say post Iraq War, post 9/11.
Oh, sure.
Because you do have the farmer from the beginning scene of Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
The milk farmer as the psychopath, shell-shocked Iraq war vet.
Oh, I'd forgotten that was the same guy.
It's fucking surreal to think about.
Nathan Lane doing his best Ray Schmuckles,
Yeah.
I kept expecting.
Hey, tomorrow morning we'll take you out there, Bo. Don't worry.
Yeah, I kept expecting him to snap those tongs and be like, "Do you want some frittatas?"
Hey, Bo, we've got some crispy Stellas over here in the fridge.
Exactly. I'm gonna go order Airwolf on eBay.
Yeah, it's just very like nothing bad has ever happened to him kind of guy. And
the fact that he can be in that and then Dick's the musical, which is just the polar opposites of quality as far as movies go in the same year.
The last bit is probably my least favorite part because I think
well, it's Kafka's The Trial.
A little bit, yeah.
And that's what I thought of anyway.
I hate to see it, but the penis monster in the attic, just like, okay, like
on the
nose
a bit. Yeah. Your father's a dick.
Yeah, and because I think it betrays some of the pathos and some of the real heavier stuff, even if it is played for black humor.
Sure.
Earlier in the film, to have something that's a little cheesy like that, and maybe it's on purpose. I don't know. Weighing that against like earlier parts of the movie, particularly the forest scene, and particularly the story that plays out there, which is
this wish fulfillment.
And how it falls apart at the very end because he's never fucked. I think that really shows Ari Aster and the people he works with, their creativities, that you can have this movie within a movie, basically.
Yeah.
And have it come back around in a way that's both really devastating and really beautiful. Like this, you really build this beautiful story, and then as it falls apart, it's like just pushing a beautiful vase off the pedestal and watching it crash on the ground. Apparently that took like 8 months to do.
Wow. I mean, the effort shows up on screen.
Such a great part of the movie. And the part where you're like, "Are you my dad?" And the guy blows up. And
devastating. Every time he gets close to something approaching, salvation or catharsis, it's taken from him by external forces. It's just beautiful.
Even though that last third's got some stuff I don't like, you still got Parker Posey, who's great. The stuff with his mom is still actually pretty biting.
I could watch that bit of dialogue there.
The part with the lawyer who's
oh boy, Richard Karn? No, I think not Richard Karn. That was on Tool Time. I know the guy and his name escapes me. Hold on, I have because this is now bugging me. He's a character actor. I've seen him in everything. Richard Kind. I was close. Richard Kind, not Carnes. Boy, Richard Kind, what a guy. He's been in everything.
Yes, he's great. He's been in so much shit. Number 2, I hate to say it, also going to be Oppenheimer.
Don't hate to say it. It's a great flick.
I think the cinematography is top notch.
Yeah.
Yes, it has some cultural and historical blind spots, but I don't think that's the story it was trying to tell.
Well, yeah, that's kind of that's the point of the movie, is that this is not about anything else. It's about Robert Oppenheimer. His name's on the fucking billboard.
Yeah, like I feel like it'd be really weird if they took like 20 minutes to talk about like the horrors of the nuclear bomb in Japan. Like, 'cause we already know that.
Yeah,
we kind of already know that.
They take it as written, which is good in something like this, because we know this. We know that.
Of course, it's got Florence Poe in it, who I think is amazing. She kills it, and she was a part of one of the latest our sex scenes bad discourse on the internet.
It was a gift from Oppenheimer. Yeah,
It was a gift from Oppenheimer, which I think is actually probably one of the most poignant scenes, is describing that the specter of this former lover haunts both of them.
It's when Kitty's testifying and she sees Robert in the chair having sex with this Jean woman in her mind. Like this is she can't see him.
Has got like a death stare on her.
Yeah, because Kitty can't see him any other way now. Like this has warped her perception of this man. It's such a great shorthand, and you don't need to really dig any further than that. That's what the scene is telling you.
Yeah.
She can't see him as anything but this cheater, this guy, and this other woman is kind of a monster. It's just great. It happened so quickly that I barely remembered it happened until I saw this GIF pop up on this sex scene discourse. And I'm like, oh yeah, that was a great moment in the movie. Yes, it was necessary. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you. It is yeah, you're right. It is incredible visual and narrative shorthand for a lot of little things going on, and I enjoyed it. Again, like I'll second it. I'll say it for the third time. Like, movie flows really well.
Yeah.
If you can see an IMAX, if you can see an 80mm or 70mm, where the fuck it is,
as big a format as you can.
The biggest format as possible is a fucking visual treat. I don't think an 8K TV can match. I'm not joking.
Yeah,
I
know.
don't think an 8K TV can match the sort of image you see.
I believe it.
A fantastic movie, just like the beauty of it, the texture of people's skin. It's really just visceral and detailed in a way. The dynamic range of the image the picture is just so cool. They had to make a special black and white film stock.
Oh, sick. For the Flash.
For the IMAX format. Yeah, okay. So that's my number 2. And I think, like you, there's a lot of honorable mentions.
Yeah, yeah.
I think, honestly, because we were talking about doing, like, we're just going to do 3s and, like, honorable mentions. I don't have a lot of 3rds.
I know.
I think the problem with a lot of me is, like, I can tell you what my favorite thing is in a certain category. I can tell you what my first and second. Yeah, that's real easy. But that third one is, like, I could tell you a lot of shit I think you should check out.
Okay.
But like a third one, I mean, like, I think Infinity Pool.
Okay. Still haven't seen it. I know it's a
it's another movie with Mia Goth.
I was gonna say,
gets her big titty honkers out.
I was trying to think of a tactful way to say it, but yeah, you're right. It's a.
It's another movie with Mia Goth.
Oh boy.
Was it produced by A24? Oh yeah, of course it was.
And apparently, it's got a real gross out factor to it, which is something I'm looking forward to. Because there's apparently a lot of.
Imagine you get stuck on a desert island. The only thing you've got to pass the time before you die of starvation and dehydration is just a photo of Mia Goth tits. I'd be so pissed.
Yeah, I would hate for that to happen to me.
God damn! I spent my whole life getting away from these tits.
I can't escape them. They're everywhere.
Crack open a coconut. It's just the coconut.
It's a still from X.
Motherfucker.
Son of a bitch.
They got me again. But Infinity Pool is really cool. I think Barbie was fun. Across the Spider-Verse is a really great incomplete
It's a visual
film.
treat. I will give you that. It is a visual treat, and
I feel like we had a lot of movies this year that are, like, visually really, like, amazing and then maybe lackluster in other ways.
Yeah.
I really don't have a third.
Okay. That's fine.
I think there's a lot of movies worth checking out, but I don't know, like, if any of them really,
strong third.
A strong third. I have a strong first, strong second. But
okay.
What category you want to tackle?
That's fine. I feel like we could rush through video games, because I know we talk about a lot about video games on the show, and a few of these
we're afraid of women.
Definitely. So I'm going to start with the one that I think is going to be a little contentious. I think you and I might have a little disagreement on this one. My number one.
I know what you're going to say.
It's going to be Remnant 2. I know you disagree, and I know why, because I've played it with you a couple times, and I get this sense about an hour and a half in, and you're like, yeah, I'm ready for this to be over. And I get it. I don't know what it does, but something about it hit for me, and it didn't for you, and that's going to happen. What I get from Remnant 2, which we discussed before, third person.
Souls-like. It's kind of like somewhere between Bloodborne and
Destiny 2. Yeah. And that's, I think, what it does. It scratches that Destiny 2 itch that I've kind of been missing. Obtuse puzzle solving. There's some lore that you kind of have to spend a little time with in the world. I like the procedural generation. That's interesting to me. I can play the same section 3 different ways and get 3 different quests. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of stuff to find, some great loot. But yeah, I certainly understand that it's not for everyone. It just hit for some reason. And that there's kind of a base camp Earth where everyone's just kind of hanging out and like waiting for the apocalypse. That always is an interesting.
Well, it's like they're waiting for the
thing.
apocalypse to now be over. It seems.
Yeah. Especially when you get towards the end of the game and you unlock Root Earth, which is an alternate Earth where the root is taken over, and they're really just like, well, I haven't seen a storm like this in a while. Wonder when it's going to be over. And you kind of get this sense that like, yeah, these people already survived the end of the world. They're just kind of waiting for the next part to come. So that grim thing is kind of cool. So that's my number one. Big fan of that. Joining anyone else's game in co-op is always a hoot for me because like I'm not that great at the game, but if I've got someone else playing with me, I feel like, oh, it's my time to shine. My second's got to be Hi-Fi Rush. It was a late entry because I just got Game Pass and I blew through Hi-Fi Rush because it's a hoot. Rhythm game, Devil May Cry, action spectacle fighter with some great music on the soundtrack. Oof, what a game. Gotta love that one. And, you know, it's Bethesda and Tango Gameworks. The last one they did that I really enjoyed was the very wonky Evil Within 2. Which I finished and I enjoyed, but it definitely was a bit of a slog in the early game. But this, boy, if you think about like Sunset Overdrive, that old Xbox One game, traversal is interesting. There's interesting combat. There's a bit of a rhythm game involved. I'm thinking about Jet Set Radio. It brings a lot of different stuff from other games to the table and kind of makes it its own thing. Still a lot of fun. Great music. Love it. My number 3, Armored Core 6, Fires the Rubicon. Gotta love it. I love Armored Core games. Haven't played one in so long. Armored Core 5 was PS3 era. So, you know, it's been a while. It's like they never left. They learned a lot of the best lessons from 5 and took them to heart. Great replayability. Because in order to get all the story stuff, you do very much Nier Automata style. You do have to play it a couple times. Combat is fast and real loose, and you can kind of whip through stuff. And if you got enough gear, if you've got the right gear, you can kind of trivialize some of the later portions of the game. And that's fine, because you're supposed to feel a little overpowered, at least I think. But I enjoyed Fires the Rubicon quite a bit. And it was such a breath of fresh air. Haven't had a really good mech game probably since Deus Ex Machina, which was, you know, 5-6 years ago, so it's been a while.
Mech game?
Yeah, mech combat. Oh, Mech Warrior maybe, but I never really liked Mech Warrior.
Deus Ex Mechs?
It's called, sorry, Daemon Ex Machina, excuse me.
Okay, I was going to say.
Got the name of the game.
A bomb?
Yeah. That's a pizza. I can use that.
I'll take the Gep gun.
Well, yeah, I mean, who wouldn't? God, I sucked so bad at Deus Ex. Yeah, Daemon Ex Machina, sorry. Some of the same design team went to work on Armored Core 6, and it shows. There's a lot of that DNA in there. Yeah. If you get a chance to play that, that was fun. But yeah, Armored Core 6, what a hoot. Like that a lot. Brian, what about you?
Not a lot of new games this year really pulled me in. You know, just kind of starting off with some stuff I thought that was really great. I think the Castlevania expansion for Dead Cells,
yes,
was a ton of fun.
I still haven't played it, but it's on my list.
It's good. I mean, Dead Cells altogether is a great game, and they've just added so much to it over the last couple of years. It's phenomenal. So
if you get the Dead Cells Castlevania, does that include a lot of the stuff they've added recently?
Well, it's DLC.
Oh,
so you have to have the base game.
So you have to have the base game. Okay.
Yeah,
it's not like
it's the closest thing you're going to get to a new Castlevania content probably ever.
Bloodstained Ritual of the Night was about the last one we got.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night was not even like a real Castlevania. I mean, it was.
It's not in name, but it definitely is in spirit. It definitely
yes, I definitely. Vampire Survivors, still having more content coming out, still a lot of fun. Every once in a while will fire up and waste an hour or so, and
such a great. I love the Survivor style game. I did get into those this year because there's another one. It was about necromancers. I can't remember the name of it, but that one I just got. Haven't played it very much, but yeah, that style is very arcadey and takes me back to Gauntlet. You know, you can just play it forever.
Oh, absolutely. I just have PC and Xbox. I don't have Switch. I can't go and be like, oh, you know, I got to play the new Zelda, the one where Zelda learns about RICO laws or something, you know?
Oh, she'd be in trouble if that was the case, yeah.
As far as what I got to play, I think probably Resident Evil 4 Remake.
Yeah?
I don't even know if it's really my favorite. It's just the most well done thing I played.
Okay.
I think 4 really didn't need to be reiterated on because it was such a great game beforehand. For the most part, every improvement or everything they changed has been a pretty good improvement. The thing in the remake is it really slogs down in the castle, whereas I think it takes until you get to the island in the original for it to really become a slog.
Huh.
It's a little weird. Like the castle, I get fatigued in the castle. I can fucking run through that game up until I'm about halfway through the castle area. And I'm just like, man, this is really getting a little long in the tooth.
And that is one of those ones where you kind of do have to replay it in order to kind of get the full experience, right?
But the graphics, the general vibe, like the economy, the core gameplay is just as tight as it's ever been. You got knife parries. You can.
That was the one thing I thought was an interesting addition. Yeah, knife parries.
Yeah, like the play, the vibe of it's really great. I think it's worth playing. The Separate Ways DLC really takes everything that's fun about the main game and kind of builds upon it. It gives you some different mechanics with Ada's character. She plays a little bit differently, and she's got some cool skills you can unlock if you have certain little trinkets and things like that. I think that like overall probably like the most fun I had was something new to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, something new to me that came out this year. I'd say probably second would be Armored Core 6.
Mm-hmm.
Just really scratched that PSX like very early 3D game itch for me.
Yeah.
Where like they give you just enough story to let your imagination fill in the blanks. Some of the missions are kind of painfully archaic and binary in how they handle some things in a way that's like really fucking annoying, but then like you find a way to cheese around it and you're like, I think it's also what makes it fun is it's a game that also has some design elements where like you can learn to cheese around them, and I think it's almost they left them in there for people that were clever enough. Games I wish I would have liked, Atomic Heart.
Yeah, you were saying that when we first talked about it on the show, that it had potential, but it just didn't live up to it, huh?
Yeah, it looks really pretty. It's a gorgeous game, but it has some gameplay loop stuff that's just fucking miserable. And it's a game that you like. The world that it creates is very interesting, but it doesn't always stick with its narrative. Not everything has the same level of gloss. The whole like everyone's Russian, but your main character sounds like just like some dude from like Omaha. Kind of really is fucking grating.
Yeah.
It reminds me of everyone being British in Chernobyl.
Oh, yeah.
In the HBO series.
Yeah.
I might finish it one day, but I'm not like
not in a rush to do it. Yeah.
Not in the rush. It has again like this has some really bad gameplay loop ideas, particularly with enemies that keep being rebuilt. And it just fucking sucks. Like some stuff like exploring just like really simple areas would take like a half hour just because by the time you like start like jumping to where you need to jump, like okay, now I gotta deal with these fucking saw monsters again. And that I wish I was a lot better. Remnant 2, I'm gonna give my commentary on it, and which is I see what you like about it when I'm like playing with you and like things are flowing. Yeah, like it's a lot of fun. Like when like you're getting Sherpa'd and because I think a really, 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 really big problem with their fucking procedural generation, little seeds or kernels or whatever you want to call them, is that sometimes they really fucking shit the bed and make things way too fucking obtuse. So when you joined to help me with like I'm just calling it the Vex map.
Yeah, because that's what it is. It's a Destiny 2 map. Yeah, like
that room that has like the spot where you're supposed to put the quest item and it takes you to the final boss. So that world stone right there, nothing ever showed me on the map because you're just always coming in at the same direction, that there was a path behind me.
Oh.
So I wasted like 3 hours on that fucking map.
Oh boy, yeah.
See, like that's what like this game. Like I said, that game does not value your time, and I find that really insulting and really frustrating.
I can definitely see that being.
That's what like my main gripe with it is that like if I'm playing by myself, I feel like I'm just really fucking spinning my wheels. Like if I'm playing with you, okay, like we're figuring it out, but like. I mean, there's just also things like hopping through a portal at the same time. One of us is going to die. You know?
That fucked me up. I could not deal with that because I'm like, every time I did this when I was playing solo, and then I went, oh, it's because I'm not playing solo. There's some of that shit where it's like,
there's some jank
really
in
necessary
there that really sucks shit. And it really, you know what? It feels like a really ambitious Dreamcast game.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see what you're
saying. But it's, it's 20 years later.
Right.
I think there's some story stuff that's really interesting. I appreciate that they're trying to punch above their weight.
Definitely.
As far as like what people are expecting from like a AA game.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that. Yeah, me and you can both play the same world and have very different experiences as far as like what quests and what things you get to see or do or what characters you meet. It's just some of the stuff in between is fucking piss.
Yeah. A few things I had fun with, but I didn't really play to the end or anything like that. Pizza Tower, had a great platformer.
Yeah, I've heard good things about that.
Very, very cool, old school platformer with some nice hand-drawn graphics. Gotta love that. Typecast, a local company called Gutter Arcade put this out. It is a bullet hell typing game. Also, that's kind of a Vampire Survivors type of deal. Super cheap, real fun. The gameplay loop is extremely addictive. Gotta love that one. Anything that makes me use my keyboard for anything other than WASD is always interesting because your whole left hand has got to cover that big quadrant of the keyboard for different, because each enemy has a letter on them. And so if you hit the button once, it hits all the enemies with that letter on them, only within your field of vision, which is this represented by a big circle. And then you're in the middle, so if you get hit, your crystal cracks, and that's your health, right? So if your crystal cracks 3 times in normal mode, you die, and you got to start the loop over. It's fun, it's addictive, it's really short, really small game by a little scrappy little company. Gotta love those. And then the last honorable mention I gotta have is World of Horror. If you ever wanted to play a point-and-click adventure game styled after Junji Ito's comics,
I've heard about this. Is that still technically like in development?
I believe it is in early access, yes. But the version I played has a majority of the quests available. It got it on Steam at a discount over the holiday. Just starting it, but boy, just visually everything clicks. It's got this really lo-fi, almost like an early Mac game feel to it. The art's great. I love the concept that you're playing these individual stories almost like chapters in a manga over and over again, trying to get the best result. Great stuff. Got a lot. But World of Horror, big fan. All right, so what do we want to do now? TV or albums?
Music.
Albums, okay. Brian, why don't you start us off then? Number one, geez.
This is a really tough one. It's really up between Jeff Rosenstock's Hell Mode and JPEG Mafia and Danny Brown's Scaring the Hose Volume 1.
Okay. I found that one really abrasive. I didn't catch the vibe.
You didn't like Scaring the Hose?
I must have been the hose that were scared.
Yeah. Were you asking where the auto-tune at?
No, not necessarily. I mean, I like Danny Brown having his own natural voice and not being tuned to hell. So I'm good with that. It's just for some reason it didn't catch me. I'm sure if I listen again, it'll click,
I mean, like from the first listen, I was like, oh, this is this generation of hip hop's like mad villainy.
Okay.
I think there's just such amazing creativity. And it really just feels like two dudes just trying to fucking gas each other up, like just make each other like laugh.
But just in that way that it's just two talented people trying to play off each other.
The beats are really impressive. Where JPEG was getting some of his samples from, really creative. One song is just like a fucking basically a loop of like a Detroit like gospel song from the 80s. And then all the lyrics are all of Danny Brown's verses are innuendos about like fucking and sucking. Well, I'm gonna dick you down like the 12 disciples.
Hell yeah.
It's off the song God Loves You. That pussy on my face, I'm a talking tongues. Legs in the air screaming hallelujah. Make her squirt that holy water. Drinking down wine but no communion. Only my dick she is consuming. On her knees said, oh my God, pull the camera out, let's make a movie. Pussy wet like Noah's Ark.
Oh God.
Go ahead, girl, just bless me. If you on your period, call me Moses.
Oh.
Because I'm about to split that Red Sea.
Yeah. Oh,
give me that head like you're breaking bed. I'm about to fuck you like the 12 disciples. Hold my balls until we get across. Flex on your back, but I know you like that. Her with my dick like David and Goliath. Take your thong off, flick it at me like a slingshot. Might give her cock on a mountaintop, drop, then again, it don't stop. We like Adam and Eve, but I'm gonna eat that apple bottom. Steak in the grass, gonna shake that ass. Like Keith Sweat, I'm gonna make it last. Wanna eat that pussy, I broke my fast. And that's not even probably the best verse. They're the best part that anyone has on that record.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, that's fucking great.
I got to go back and listen to it now.
It's
then,
fucking,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
amazing. It's a shame that apparently Danny Brown was absolutely off his fucking nut apparently the whole time. Like he said, like Danny Brown's now sober. He's gone to rehab since this record's come out, but he's gone on an interview. The comment that like, yeah, you know, I feel really bad that I was so fucked up making this record. I know I was probably a huge pain in the ass, and I feel bad that he may not want to make a second one.
Yeah,
like that Peggy is. I hate to say it, but for all whatever suffering that he was going through, he happened to make a really great record. And JPEG Mafia, all of his, like, front to back, I think it's just a great record. And like, I listened to it all fucking year, like I did the first time I was introduced to Madville. And you're like, oh, this is just a record I'm going to listen to like every other day for the next 8 months. Okay, cool. I've got this figured out.
I got this on. Yeah, I got this figured out.
Hell Mode by Jeff Rosenstock. I think for a lot of people that I think actually have music opinions worth listening to, this is like their top 1 or 2.
And they're right.
They are absolutely positively right. You know, the fucking ultimate DIY guy goes and records in a famous music studio, uses echo chambers used for like pet sounds and shit, and like makes like the quintessential like pop punk record for dudes that like aren't creeps on Warped Tour.
Yeah, I can't say enough good things about Hell Mode. I've been evangelizing about this record. I'm really excited that he's coming back to town because last time he canceled because he got sick. Hoping that doesn't happen again. Knock on wood. But you know,
yeah, it's just
times being what they are.
Yeah.
But man, what a fucking solid record. I don't think I've heard one of these this good from him since Worry.
Yeah, been a while. It's been a long while. It's a phenomenal record. Sounds great. He really kind of just flexes
from top to bottom. I mean, really, there's a few songs where I'm like, oh, okay, he's kind of revisiting a theme from like Post or something, you know, or he's doing another riff on something that he did on Not a Dream or one of those things. But it's still, God, it's even though it's his fifth studio album just solo, it feels so goddamn fresh. I don't know what it is about it. I think it is this kind of, he's sprawling out a bit and letting himself do things that maybe he couldn't do in Bomb Music Industry or he couldn't do in Arrogant Bastards or whatever it was that he was doing. It's like he just decided, you know what? Fuck it. I'm doing whatever I want.
It really felt like I'm just going to fucking make this damn record. And it's great. Front to back, it's a ton of fun. Yeah, hopefully he actually plays St. Louis this time and doesn't get sick. I'm not going to be there because Arm & Hammer is the same day here in St. Louis.
That's a tough split. Yeah, you got to choose one or the other.
There's no fucking way those guys, Arm & Hammer's ever come. Like Jeff Rosenstock will come back to St. Louis because we'll eat that shit up all day.
Yeah, because
like fucking indie hip hop,
yeah.
I've seen like Buck65 perform to like 50 people here. So like, yeah, you know,
that's so rough, dude.
It's really rough. Like seeing like your fucking heroes come to St. Louis. Like play like 30 people and then they go to Chicago and like sell out Lincoln Hall like next day and you're like, fuck man, we kind of suck, don't we?
you do get that impression.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like there was also time in St. Louis that felt like no one gave a shit about what you're doing unless there was burlesque.
Yeah.
Or like if you were like a rockabilly dude that also thought burlesque was cool, like, yeah, my girlfriend kind of looks like Betty Page if
you squint really hard.
If you squint really hard. I was gonna say if she had hard living. Don't ignore her lazy eye.
If she puts the gimp leg behind her and she,
if ignore the stoma.
All right, so Hell Mode. What else you got there,
number 3, I'm gonna say MS Paint, Post American. I think that
no, it's a solid record.
It's a solid fucking record. I think, I hate to say that some of the songs that they re-record with the fellow from Military Gun, I don't think are as interesting as the mixes from the original EP that came out a couple years ago.
They are definitely weaker if you can compare the two, for sure. But if it's your first time hearing MS Paint, you're not going to know the difference.
I think the newer songs are pretty fucking amazing. There's only like 1 or 2 tracks on there that I'm like, eh. But everything else is fucking top notch. I gave that record quite a few spins this year.
It goes hard, baby.
It's fucking great. I don't know. It feels like they're getting a little big for their britches, so I don't think they're coming through St. Louis for a while.
Maybe not.
They're like, no, we're a Chicago band now.
Yes.
Chicago and Madison, if we're going to play the old Midwest.
Yeah.
The big boys from Mississippi.
Right. Well, you know what I thought of when I was listening to that record was I was thinking about the 90s industrial scene.
Oh,
and,
yeah, like-
and how there was Pop Will Eat Itself. That I was trying to remember the name of the band. Pop Will Eat Itself. I kept coming back to that as like a touchstone for their stuff. I don't know, not necessarily with anything that they actually sound like, but there's this like anarchic attitude that's infectious through the whole record.
Yeah.
Is an attitude that I think a lot of rock bands, even what you consider like your classic, alternative or whatever, they're missing, I think. A lot of alternative bands have kind of gotten softer, and they're a little bit more cautious about being aggressive.
Yeah.
And I think MS Paint is like, fuck that.
I feel like those guys are just like doing whatever they want.
Yeah.
And thankfully they're not like fucking weirdo like amateur magicians or something.
Right. It feels good to hear someone not constrained to a genre or a scene, which is
Or an idea or
Yeah.
like whether or not this shit's cool.
Yeah.
Because like dude performs in a pair of pants where one leg is cut like a pair of shorts. So it's like one of those things like, oh man, I saw that, like, oh yeah, this dude does not give a fuck.
He's not giving a shit. It's great. Yeah.
No, they're a great live band. I feel lucky I got to see them twice this year, even if the second time came at some real personal peril for reasons that make me not want to live in St. Louis anymore.
Yeah. No, the less said about that, the better.
Sure. But yeah, what a great little record that kind of
Yeah.
came out of nowhere.
Well, you'll love to see the scrappy guys doing something good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and my honorable mentions are new Blockhead Beat record is really great. Probably the best Billy Woods feature of the year.
Yeah, I'm surprised any of the other Billy Wood stuff isn't on your list as of yet. I don't have the whole list in front of me.
You
but-
know what, man? I just don't think Maps is that good. I don't
Yeah.
think Billy Woods is like a guy that like. I think when he's kind of poking at his own ups and downs in life, or ups and downs of like being fucking broke as shit, and like I don't know if he like, it feels like he's done the hip hop version of like On the Road Again, which just doesn't.
It's just fine.
I'm glad that I found other people on the internet that feel the same way, where it's like, well, like, Ethiopia's, this previous record was so fucking good that it didn't get half the fucking praise this record got.
Yeah.
And it feels like some of this dick riding that I'm seeing, where I'm seeing the new Arm & Hammer, which feels like doing Long Division. I'm really sorry.
I get it though. I understand.
Like, and it's weird because like they came out with a record that feels like you're doing fucking math, or there's going to be a quiz at the end. And Aesop Rock comes out with his probably most accessible record in 20 years.
Oh, yeah, it's such a fun album.
It's so
I love
fucking
it.
weird. Like, okay, you guys came out with a record that feels like really dense. When I'm in the mood for it and I can like give it the right amount of attention, it's a fun record. I'm not saying it's a bad record. I'm not saying We Still Diabetic Test Strips is a bad record.
But there's a feeling, there's a vibe that's missing.
There's something there that feels a little bit more at odds with like the listener.
Is it confrontational though?
There's the word, yes, confrontational. I think it's a little bit more aggressive. There's something going on there.
The fuck the fans syndrome. They're good.
I wouldn't even say that. Like, I don't think it's at the fans. I think it's just kind of like, that's just like the feeling. It's a kind of a confrontational record. It's kind of like, I'm kind of tired of this shit. But I don't feel like, I mean, like Shrine's, a previous record of theirs came out in like 2020, is similar, but I felt like that record had some variety to it. And I think that's maybe the thing that Diabetic Test Strips kind of hits me, is like these songs kind of all feel the same.
Which is the last thing you want on a record like that, yeah.
I think there's some cool parts, but I also felt the same way about Billy Woods' Churches. I forget the record he came out with after Ethiopia's. How I described it to my brother is like, yeah, I listened to it a couple times while working. I think there's some parts of that record that are really fucking cool, but I was not looking at my phone. I was not stopping to see what song that was, and I do not like everything else enough to sit down there and what's the 3 songs I like on this record, because that means I gotta sit through a bunch of songs I thought were just okay. And I kind of been used to that from Billy Woods. It's like he comes out with a really great record, comes out with a really okay record, comes out with a phenomenal record, comes out with an okay record.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I think he's ever come out with 2 okay records in a row.
So your expectations were a little higher, maybe.
Yeah, and gosh, I feel like I'm talking shit here, but the thing is, like,
I mean,
Billy Woods is like okay record is probably better than anything Jack Harlow's ever going to come out with.
Fair enough. Yeah.
You know, like it's just that like
we're talking batting average here. We're not talking about quality of work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just I'm sorry, I was like really disappointed with Maps. It just didn't really grab me.
No, I get it. I had a few of those
You go
this year,
listen
too.
to Ethiopies. I'm not even sure if I'm saying that word right, but who fucking cares?
Yeah.
I'm white. I don't know anything, and I get through life just fine.
Yeah, we've managed somehow.
Somehow, it must be all of this luck.
That's it.
But that record has some themes to it, has some really amazing beats. The lyricism on there, probably one of the best Despot fucking verses I've ever heard. It's one of those records also that has like a bunch of features on it, and I usually think a bunch of features on a hip hop record usually means it sucks.
I was to say, yeah, usually it's not
means
good.
like, oh, this sucks, and you're never going to. And the songs that don't suck, you're never going to see live because you're never going to get like these three dudes that hate each other to be in the same room together again.
Yeah,
you know, like shit like that. But like, oh wow, all of these features just kind of add more like to this bit of like mythology that's contained inside of this record. And like, there's elements of that record that, like now, like reading more interviews with Billy Woods and stuff like that, it's like speaks to, like his childhood or growing up in like Western Africa, where like his dad was like started a coup. I forget the details.
All right.
And like his dad was like a revolutionary communist or something like that, and his like mom was like a teacher who was like a poet or a writer, and like he has this really amazing background, and this record kind of speaks to that, but also kind of like, yeah, I had this really amazing background, but like life still kind of sucks because like the world kind of sucks. And I can relate to that. I think that's a very relatable thing. Be like, yeah, I like all this cool stuff happened, but like, so what?
Yeah.
Or like I thought like this disposed dictator was my neighbor growing up because like, he had like an automated gate and like cameras and a bodyguard.
Yeah.
What about you?
I also put Jeff Rosenstock's Hell Mode in my top 3, definitely up there. Love Jeff. He did so much work on Not a Dream, and then he did the ska version of Not a Dream.
Which is surprisingly good.
Very good. He doesn't miss. Even when he puts out, I don't know, a live version of Post, it hits more than it misses. And boy, Hell Mode hits pretty much. I mean, if we're talking about hit percentage, he's batting 1,000 right now. Just killing it. I don't think I've heard a better record from him in a long time.
Yep.
I don't think I've heard a better record from anyone that was in third wave ska bands in a very long time.
Anyone who's been around for a minute that came out with a record this year, I think he probably did the best. Like anyone who's been around for a minute, like I think the Screaming Females record, which unfortunately is now their last record, I think like that was really good, but like Hell Mode really fucking.
He's operating on a different level, and that's just all. That's all I'm gonna say on that matter. Because I like the Screaming Females album, but didn't even make my honorable mention. So that tells you just the quality of stuff that I'm enjoying.
Another band that canceled their show right before they played St. Louis.
Yeah,
they canceled. I think the day of or the day before. We were all crossing our fingers, like, oh man, hopefully they'll like reschedule like Jeff Rosenstock did, and then like they fucking broke up, and they're like, fuck.
Well, it's a damn shame. I really hope Melissa picks up, because to me, she's the star of the group. Shreds like a motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
And the voice, just insane. Gotta give her all the props in the world for just doing it for so long in an industry that is not friendly to women in general. So speaking of, though, an industry that's not familiar, or that's not friendly to women in general, the band Wednesday has one of my top slots here. The album is called Rat Saw God. Just blew me away. There's a great introductory track, and then there's this 8-minute sprawling indie rock shoegaze epic, and it just continues in that same vein. It's a record that just kind of takes its time and does whatever it wants to do. I feel like this is a young band giving everything they got on a record, and there's an energy and a youthfulness that just is in every ounce of it. There's records that came out this year by industry vets that have been around forever that don't have half of the heart and soul. And again, this is a band I'd never heard of until this year, and I'm giving them a top slot because it just kicked my ass when I first heard it. I was just like, okay, this is doing things I didn't think that like an indie rock record would go for.
Sure.
They're pulling in all these influences. Obviously, Kevin Shields is way up there. There's a lot of guitar noise and these sounds that they kind of pull in from the ether almost. They got a destination, but they're going to take you on a journey to get there. What a record. And then I got to give it up for 100 Gex. 10,000 Gex. I think this is probably their best record.
Oh, easily.
For the same reason, because they have stopped giving a shit, and they're going to make whatever fucking record they want to make. And if that means in the first track, they're going to throw in the THX sound and then start doing a fucking Papa Roach riff, they're going to do it. They're going to do a ska song about frogs. They're going to fucking just throw everything at the wall. They do a like a new metal track, and anything and everything that they think is fun or funny, they're just throwing it all in there. There's this kind of grab bag pastiche thing happening. They do an entire track that's just like text-to-speech voices saying $1 million. It's, double birds in the air. They're just doing whatever. It's really, I enjoyed it because it's like there's no energy that matches it.
Yeah, it's really weird to honestly hear a band from St. Louis,
right,
that isn't every other second going like, "What I'm doing is cool, right?"
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like there's some like
they don't care if what they're doing is cool. They think it's funny, and fuck you if you don't.
Yeah, but that's just like the thing. Like I've like telling my girlfriend, like, yeah, this is a really great band, but it feels like they're always like looking over their shoulder, like, this is cool, right? Like we're in a cool band, and it's like, yeah, shut the fuck up and play the song.
This is the record where they did that. This is the one where they went, yeah.
Well, I don't think, I hate to say it, but as someone who spent a lot of time in St. Louis music scene, I never saw them around, which makes sense because it is extremely online sounding. It like you want to read. Yeah. It feels like if you gave like the ooze from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies to like a Tumblr where someone could not have been more wrong, but more angry and feeling more right about their positions. And then you find out it's like an 18-year-old who like has like a gas rag neck tattoo,
like, all right,
and white girl dreadlocks. And you're like, oh, this is the record that would come out of it. Like, just like, wow, you don't even care if you're wrong.
No.
How so stunning and bold.
Yeah. Kind of.
It's kind of the 100 Gex vibe is like, I don't care if you think that this ship is problematic.
Right.
Here's my 1,400 words explaining why Gilgamesh would totally dick down Buttercup.
Right. And then the next post is like misspelling the phrase, "Can I have a cheeseburger?" And then that's the whole vibe. It's like, it's anarchy. There's not, I mean, there's absolutely a slavish devotion to like a very online aesthetic. There's a lot of things that really feel like poses, like, okay, yeah, we're doing a riff on a Blink-182 song.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
But it's a good song despite that. So it's like, well, fuck, okay, because I had to really rethink my assumptions a lot when I was listening to that.
I just feel there's a lot of like post like recession like horseshoe theory in this record.
Yeah,
like there's a lot of shit that's so fucking cringe that it comes back around.
It loops back around.
Yeah.
It really does. I mean, it's the entire fucking ska song about the frog on the floor. But I'm like, well, yeah, but their last record had a ska song about a horse. So
Yeah, no, it's real. It's real monkey fucking cheese for chicks that have septum piercings.
And yet, it's also a good record, yeah.
Like
somehow,
I'm like, I can like, I'm talking shit on this record with my full fucking chest, and all sometimes like, it's still pretty guy whips ass,
right? Because it's both. It's both.
It's both.
Yeah, I realize exactly how fucking cringe it is, and my kids, 13-year-olds, both of them, have said to me, "Can you not play this album again?" And I said, and then I just cranked up "Dumbest Girl Alive." Like, no.
Like when your dad would play like fucking Rush or something.
Yeah.
Can we listen to something that has songs that aren't 8 minutes long?
Yeah, exactly.
All you can just hear is your dad cracking a beer in the darkness of the car.
Yep. Reaching down on the passenger seat for that 12er.
So
yep. Honorable mention's got to go to The Armed. Probably one of the most interesting genre shifts I've seen in a band in a while. The Armed kind of are doing something new, but at the same time they feel just like their old songs, but it's like they really liked a bunch of 70s psychedelic albums and said, you know what, we can do that, but do it our way. So that Armed album is called Perfect Saviors. Enjoyed that one quite a bit. Poppy's new record, Zig, which is still relatively new, but I got to give it up for her because she's still doing something interesting.
Weird metal music that you expect to hear in a like salon where you're going to pay way too much money for a beard trimming.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. And yet at the same time, fucking slaps.
Yeah.
And then K-Flay, her album Mono.
I heard that's good.
Oh boy, there's a few like really really pop tracks on it, but it's mostly a record about she woke up one day and she couldn't hear out of one ear. It's personal, but it's also got some hooks. It's dope as fuck. The only reason it's an honorable mention is because it sags in the middle half, like the middle and then the back half. It drops off a cliff after maybe the 6th track on it, which is sad because there's maybe 4 or 5 tracks left. But still, that first half, raw, and a couple other ones are just like dynamite, little daggers in your brain. But yeah, gotta give it up for K-Flay TV. Brian, why don't you hit me with your number 1? What'd you think?
I'm going to say the final season of Succession.
Okay.
Intense and vulgar and weird and upsetting and funny. No one is happy at the end, which is maybe my favorite kind of story. The guy who technically wins is not even happy.
You love to see it.
They made some really bold choices. I wish that the season were a couple episodes longer. I think there's some stuff that could have been stretched out and massaged a little bit more. But I think for the arc that they were going for, I think they pretty much nailed it. I mean, the performances are amazing.
And have been from the beginning, from what I understand.
I mean,
like they're very consistent in that.
From the first season, there were so many little bits of character stuff that was fucking just out there, and
because that's all I've really seen is like a good chunk of the first season. So I was
what
excited to hear that.
What the fuck does Tom say to the cousin at the party, at the dinner party? Are you trying to fuck me?
Yeah, some shit like that where it's just like, what the hell?
Oh, are you trying to fuck me, Pigman? I think it's something along those lines.
Oh, that feels so good.
Yeah, there's just so many great bits of that whole entire show, and I think it ended incredibly strong, even if I do think it could have benefited for an episode or
couple
two
more
to
episodes.
massage out some themes and stuff, because it definitely feels like it moves a little too quick near the back half.
Kind of like they knew they had an end and they were trying to either race towards it or that is definitely final seasonitis that happens on a lot of shows. Yeah.
I think the other one I have is The Last of Us, even though I know now The Last of Us is incredibly problematic, because now the second season is based off of the main scenario creator's interpretation of the conflict in between Palestine and Israel.
Yeah, not great.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where like I think The Last of Us 2 has a really great story, but the baggage behind that is
we're gonna see a lot of think pieces coming up to
Oh,
2025 when that comes out. Yeah,
actually the WLF were right to do what they did.
Without that cultural baggage, though, Last of Us really stands tall, baby. Pedro Pascal, boy, what a fucking performance! God damn.
It's funny because I think he is like I think it might be one of his most bland performances.
Understated, sure, but I don't know about bland.
I don't know. It just I forget that it's him,
which I think is a strength. If you know what I mean, like compare that to something like, I don't know, Wonder Woman 1984, where he's got this kind of
Donald Trump thing.
Yeah, and so you kind of get an idea of his range, and he's playing subdued. He's playing Troy Baker. He's playing, kind of this.
Yeah.
And I think for him, that works. And I think the supporting cast does a lot of heavy lifting. Anya Torv from Fringe there is Tess in the opening bit there. You gotta love fucking Nick
Fuentes.
No.
God damn it! I was hoping I could get you. Be like, oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy. No, Nick Offerman.
Oh yeah.
Nick Offerman.
What if it was Nick Fuentes?
It'd be a very different scene, I think. Yeah, it'd be a very different show. But boy, Nick Offerman in those middle episode there as Bill, just a heartbreaker.
Yeah, just a standalone episode that just absolutely fucking complete difference from the game, and I think it's better for it.
I hope that when the second season comes around, that there can be a little bit more of stuff like that, or where we have something that you might be familiar with, but maybe we explore it in a different way. Because we met Bill in the first game, and we got implications and innuendos and all that stuff about him and his relationship with Frank and all that. But the way the show explored it was so much better and deeper. And it hit
More
a lot
satisfying.
harder, yes. And oh boy, I can't think of a better hour of television this year. Really, honestly.
There was a couple episodes that I think they kind of missed the landing a little bit, but overall still very good.
Right.
I think the flashback episode with Ellie and her friend, some of that just didn't hit as well as the original story.
I agree that there were some weak points in it, but at the same time, I liked seeing it in there. If they hadn't included it, I feel like
I totally agree. I think
there'd only be innuendo, or there'd only be this vagueness.
I think it's an important part of the narrative. I only want to say that they did a bad job with that story, with that part of the narrative. But I don't know. Like I think I watched it twice, and I still think it's a really great episode. But something just didn't click like the others. Like I think it is probably the episode that they had the most weighing on.
Yeah.
As far as like the wider narrative, and I don't think they hit as much as they did like the episode with like the creepy cult guy.
But at the same time, though, like, boy, well done. You know what I mean? Like, even with those weak spots, those blind spots, or whatever you want to call them, I'd still say
the practical makeup, really great.
Oh, great stuff.
And some of the special effects were phenomenal.
Oh yeah, and this new thing where this is introduced just for the show, where like the clickers can kind of sense you through the earth, mycelium style.
Yeah.
They're interesting concepts that kind of build on what the games had, and
some of the changes they made for like the cordyceps infection and how it works, I think actually narratively are very cool.
Yeah, it definitely solved a lot of problems that the games brought up for me. And so I'm like, oh, okay, this smooths that over a bit, and it's much more satisfying.
They did a really great job with the set design.
Oh, yeah.
Bella Ramsey is fantastic. Finding a way to be a lot like Ashley, who played Ellie in the video games, but also doing her own thing.
It's a tightrope, and she did it. Yeah.
Yeah, being true to the original character, but also doing your own thing.
Yeah,
I think that's really a really tough thing to do, and I think they go by they them.
Oh, yeah.
When they killed it. I do get some humor in that some of Bella's line reads, you can hear their like Scottish accents. Like I think they're trying to like, and it kind of just sounds like a kid from the South that has like a like a speech impediment, but like it still sounds like a Scottish person. Like still, what's his face and Reservoir Dogs.
Tim Roth.
Tim Roth.
Yeah. He slips in there once in a while.
Particularly when he's screaming and stuff. And it's funny because otherwise his accent's really great, but that's also part of what makes his performance so interesting. Is that like, why does he must be really in pain because he sounds like he has a British accent.
Yeah, I can tell you if I was shot in the gut, I might sound like, Italian or something. I don't know. And number 2, what is in your number 3 slot? Same kind of thing. It's hard to do.
There weren't a lot of like the 1s and 2s were real easy, but the 3s were tough. Maybe Righteous Gemstones.
Okay, solid season. Great stuff. I do like the narrative that the narrative winds up with a literal swarm of locusts.
Yeah.
I think going heavy-handed and literal in a show that's mostly about dicking around, definitely.
Yeah, you threw Jesus. No, I didn't. It was a cry, man.
Right. So to have that moment of like extremely heavy drama dropped on you, I think actually works in its favor. Yeah. Steve Zahn shows up in it and he kills it.
Yeah, no, Steve Zahn's great.
What the hell?
I mean, like as always, like really solid performances. Baby Billy.
Oh man, he's like it takes a while.
I'm really more like your daddy. I'm more like I raised you. Like, no, you didn't. You didn't do anything like that. Like, oh come on, I'm really like a parent to you.
and the fact that it takes a while to get him back on the show it's very much Poochie. Where is Baby Billy?
Where's Baby Billy? Everyone's asking, where is Baby Billy?
Yeah, I was the first 2 episodes. I'm like, where is he? And then when he shows up and he's doing a song and dance routine at a fucking resort and he's miserable, like, yeah,
he has everything he wants, really.
But he hates
unhappy.
it. Yeah, it's perfect for him. I think that's.
But, I mean, I feel like that's kind of on the comedic side, like the kind of character that Walter Goggins really plays well is like the miserable bastard,
the put upon man. Yeah.
I mean that's like so much his character in Vice Principals.
Yes, absolutely.
God, that I
what
I
a
need
gem
to get my
of a
girlfriend
show.
to watch that.
Yeah, what a gem.
They only needed 2 seasons.
Yeah, in and out, got it done. Because I honestly don't think don't think they could have stretched the premise any more than they did.
No, God, what fucking great shit.
They took it as far as they could.
Fucking make him full quad Gamby.
And you really buy that him and Danny McBride have this relationship because you see it again in Gemstones. You're like, yeah, this is how they are.
Really great show. I feel like this was the season where I think they were trying to get you to feel a little too much empathy for these characters. They're kind of obviously awful.
Yeah, they're all pieces of shit. I mean, like, no question.
But it's like, no, like maybe ultra religious evangelical rich people are terrible. Like,
yeah,
we don't really need to feel really sorry for them that often.
No, the big joy for me of the show comes in seeing these people get what I think is their just desserts. So
yes,
I'm good with that.
Yeah, and just just some amazing line reads.
Carl's not dead. Yeah, I'm right here, man. You know, he knows that. I'm standing right here. Anytime Danny McBride says "Daddy," John Goodman gets to sneak in some good ones. I mean, geez, boy,
I mean, the second season, I think it's the first or second episode of the second season where Danny McBride's trying to have the sex talk with one of his kids, and the way it's just the way the meter and the phrasing is just fucking amazing.
Because you can feel that, like, he does not want to be having this conversation. He wishes he was anywhere else, but he's also trying to be the man. But it's just he's not doing it, and it's just
the thing is, I have worked with a guy who talks like Danny McBride.
Really?
Yeah, it just does like the weird like inflections and stuff, like where he's both trying to sound, I think, like funny,
yeah,
and also maybe trying to make people think he's a little more clever than he is.
Yeah,
and it just always cracks me up. I'll see him do stuff and just be like, you don't have to be like that.
Yeah.
like I get that that's what's gotten you this far in life, but like you can switch it up a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
come on,
no
man.
shame.
Any honorable mentions to throw in there? Anything else that struck you?
As far as TV, no, not really.
All right. Well, I'm gonna drop my top three then. Andor, number one, baby. Star Wars TV shows have mostly been shit.
Yes, they have.
And for whatever reason, these guys pulled out what is quite possibly the best Star Wars content since The Last Jedi, and they did it on TV, and I feel like nobody watched it.
We watched like the first 2 or 3 episodes, and you know what? I thought it was really good. The people we were watching it with were not so into it; they kept dozing off. But
it's a slow start. It's a slow burn.
But like I felt like kind of telling like this everyday everyman story and like set in that world was really interesting, and I think it allowed them to stay close to the subject material but build on it in ways that were really interesting.
Well, right, because I always think of, because this character Cassian Andor does later on become a part of Rogue One. The strength of Rogue One was always that none of these people are Jedi. None of these people are.
There's the one guy that's force sensitive,
but he only has like one scene where that happens, and he barely survives it. But there's a sense that they're more normal than anyone you see in the Star Wars films, and so this is kind of the soldiers on the ground type of story. Well, Andor goes even further and is like, yeah, these people aren't even soldiers, at least not now, and they're just in a dire circumstance. He's framed for murder, and then it becomes a whole thing. Well, eventually he winds up in an Imperial prison, and there's a 2 or 3 episode bit where he's trying to stage a jailbreak. And talk about slow burn. Some shows would have done that in the first half of an episode.
Sure.
Done the whole jailbreak. This one sprawls out, takes its time, and it's the better show for it. Andy Serkis shows up, not as a CGI creature. He's just himself.
Just a dude.
Fuck yeah. Like, he's a solid actor. I love to see him in stuff. Everyone from the lowly bureaucrats, they get character moments that are interesting. And these aren't the people that you see in a Star Wars thing. So this is kind of like this real ground level thing. It's deep and it's interesting, and it's about like, what is freedom? And it has these ideas about stuff that like Ahsoka just fucking didn't. Like, Ahsoka sucked, and I hated it every minute watching that show. I was like, I could be watching Andor again.
I think we got halfway through the first season of The Mandalorian, and I'm just like, I hate this little fucking green thing.
Mandalorian definitely way goes up its own ass, which is really unfortunate, because I think the first season has something going for it that's interesting. The life of a bounty hunter. But then he does the lone wolf and cub thing, and he's protecting a kid, and that's interesting.
I think that one of the things that really cracked me up about The Mandalorian is one of the first shows that you could watch in 4K. And then and it really works against it because you can see the production values. We're like, it literally just like, that's just like a spray painted like McDonald's box.
Yeah.
And shit like that. And,
yeah, watch it in 720p on a computer monitor, and you'll have a better experience.
It really feels like, that's just like a ping pong ball cut in half.
Yeah, Star Wars stuff doesn't stand up to scrutiny, especially if it's cheaply made.
Yeah, well, that was also, I think, one of the first big shows that was filmed using the volume.
Mm-hmm.
I had a coworker explain, like half of that's on green screen.
It's a projection screen. So it's like bringing back old school rear projection techniques, but it's a high def rear projection technique.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is definitely, the settings are definitely more empty. You definitely get this feeling of that. But then Giancarlo Esposito shows up in the latter half of that season, and he kind of is the big bad, and that's kind of neat.
I think this will also make Andor nice. It doesn't feel like a lot of it's done that way.
No.
And it's like watching, I don't know, have you seen Black Widow?
Yeah.
Part of the reason why this movie is kind of fun to watch is because it's not all fucking green screen. Like these are like physical sets. Like that's a real chair they're sitting in. Like that's so fucking sad.
They're in an actual helicopter. Yeah,
like four characters sitting at a table is like, whoa.
Well, and Florence Poe in that movie.
Florence Poe, she's great.
It's great. So Andor definitely gets the top slot just because it's doing something interesting with Star Wars that hasn't been done in quite some time. I got to give my second slot to, of course, The Last of Us. We've gone over that, but I just got to chime in and just be like, everything down to the music choices, most of which are sourced from the original game music.
I think some of the stuff was re-recorded and kind of built upon.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, the tunes are the same. Like,
Yeah.
they're not missing a beat here or there. They're not
That very mournful, like, Appalachian
T. Boone Pickens style stuff, and just the vibes are immaculate. And then for my third one, Dark Horse entry, Charlie Brooker produced Kunk on Earth. If you don't know who Philomena Kunk is, it's a character created by a comedian, Diane Morgan, and she's a news presenter who is a complete moron. And she does these interviews. So Diane Morgan is essentially the new Sacha Baron Cohen. She's talking to these real esteemed people and asking them the dumbest question you could possibly ask them. As a presenter, she's obsessed with the Technotronic song Pump Up the Jam and finds a way to shoehorn it into every episode.
Amazing.
It's actually a sequel to another series that was only in the UK called Kunk on Britain. But the Philomena Kunk character was created when Charlie Brooker was doing a series for BBC called The Yearly Wipe, which was also a sequel to his series Screen Wipe. The Yearly Wipe was a year in review show, which was about 45 minutes or so, where they broke down all the major events of the year in a very funny way, and then they had talking heads. One of the talking heads was a character, Brian Shitpeas, and then the other one was Philomena Kunk, who was wrong about everything. And so they decided to expand on the Philomena Kunk character, get Kunk her own show, and then Netflix picked it up for Kunk on Earth, a semi-sequel to that. So it's like, it goes all the way back to like the early 2000s, this character that she's been playing. She's a hoot. I love her very much. And every fucking episode has at least one or two lines in these interviews where I'm gasping for air. I'm laughing so hard. Brilliant. It's a fake news show, right? It's doing this, it's presenting itself as though it's like a documentary series, but it's taking the piss the whole time. You gotta love that format.
Good deal.
3 quick honorable mentions. The new Nathan For You type of show with Nathan in it.
I heard that's
and Emma
interesting.
Stone, called The Curse. Haven't seen the whole thing, so I can't really comment on the quality of the whole thing. But the first 2 episodes, oh Jesus fuck, very subversive, really wickedly weird. It's about documentaries. It's very self-referential. It loops on itself. It's got a Charlie Kaufman vibe, but also it's a trip. You gotta love the fact that Emma Stone is taking time out from her busy movie-making career to also do that. I really liked the documentary series Telemarketers.
Oh, yes, that was great.
Fantastic. Just slickly produced, really good stuff. And I like the fact that it's like all source footage that this guy started shooting in the late 90s, early 2000s. He's just like, yeah, I know this is going to be weird. I'm just going to start shooting everything.
Look at my weird, shitty job.
Yeah. And it's just about telemarketer scams, about how awful they are, but it nails down this one particular company. It's just, I don't usually like documentaries, but that one was fucking fun. And like one of the opening scenes, they're like sitting in their car outside of work, getting fucking woed before work.
I think either they're smoking, and I think the one guy is probably shooting up.
And that's like
It's great.
early on. Yeah.
And I've worked fucking shitty phone jobs, so like a lot of that like
feels real.
Really resonated. Like, yeah, like what we were doing was not sketchy, but like just like the part where like these are the dregs of society, and like this the only little bit of joy you get out of life is kind of like subtly fucking with people on the phone, but like in a way that no one can ever really call you out on unless they also know what you're doing.
Masterful. But also the way that the show's structured, they're in the present day showing you what happened via this footage, but then also talking about what they're going to, you know, what their next thing is. That to me is also interesting because you've got the two parallel timelines. And then my last honorable mention, people hated on this for whatever fucking reason. I guess it was the Rain Johnson effect, but Poker Face. I enjoyed Poker Face for exactly what it was, which was Columbo, but with Natasha Lyonne in it.
I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. This is a show?
There's a show called Poker Face, yeah.
With Rain Johnson?
Sorry, Ryan Johnson. I keep saying that because Rainn Wilson spells his name similarly. It's Ryan Johnson. They produced and directed a couple episodes. Natasha Lyonne's the lead. It's a story about a woman who gets in deep with the mob in Vegas and then goes on the run. And while she's on the run, she has this innate ability to tell if someone's lying. And so she goes around inadvertently getting drawn into all these like murder mysteries and solving them. And that's the show. Like it takes a little bit of time to kind of get there. The first episode kind of screeches to a halt for a while. But then after that, she's on the road. She's on the run. Doesn't have any money, you know, desperate for jobs. And so she goes to work with a guy who does barbecue, and his brother tries to kill him. And, you know, like there's all this stuff. There's a great episode where it's that classic, we're trapped on the road and it's ice, you know, it's a big snowstorm. So we got to go to this cabin, but these guys in this cabin are real sketch, and maybe they're killers, maybe they're not. It's an interesting concept, and I really had fun with it. Natasha Lyonne, fun to watch. She kind of sells every goofy ass moment, despite the writing being kind of like, okay. In spite of the writing, she sells it. It's a fun show.
Good deal.
But yeah, it definitely has that Shaggy Dog Columbo.
Yeah.
Sounds
fun.
Well, and another thing. You could almost hear Peter Falk showing up and be like, "You're stealing my bit, woman." The more I think about that show, the more I enjoyed it, because it's 10 episodes, pretty short. You know, you can get through it in a weekend, and a lot of people I think forgot about it because it came and went, you know, in that kind of short time span. But it stuck with me because like a lot of the murder mystery shows or a lot of those kind of things these days are police procedurals.
Yeah. And
this one was just this woman down on her luck who knows when people are lying, is able to kind of figure stuff out that normal people wouldn't. Right. That was kind of neat.
Okay.
I think that's all I got in me, brother. Anything else you want to add?
No, I think we've completely critiqued all of the consumable cultural things that were made in the year of our Lord 2023.
Indeed.
And I don't think we need to speak on them any further.
Right on. Before we go, I want to do some very special thanks to folks who agreed to be on the show with us this year. I want to give a thanks to Whack Nicholson. Again, my apologies. That episode did not get released. I want to thank Casey Green. I want to thank Chris Ward. I want to thank Stryker Spurlock, Rory Blank, Bitter Corella, Ed Zitron, Miles Klee, Drew Toothpaste, and Thought Slime. What a year.
What a bunch of people we had on the show to talk about old weird internet stuff.
What a bunch of nice folks,
beyond their
too.
wildest dreams. I never thought that we would have some of those people on this podcast.
I know.
Really just, you know, even if they didn't have fun, it was a pleasure having them on here.
That's their problem, not ours.
Yes, it's a skill issue. Two guys in the Midwest want to talk to you about old internet stuff. Like,
yeah, what's not to like?
Yeah. My friend in Christ, what did you think this was going to be? From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate everyone that came on the show, even if we forgot to hit record. And
Never gonna live it down.
Oh
That's all
man,
right.
well,
It's all right.
the only way you can fix this is to convince him to come back on here.
I know,
and we have
that's
to. Send,
on me. That's on me.
We have to send him footage of you hitting the record button.
Yeah, show the webcam. Be like, I'm
Show
doing
the
it
webcam,
right
I'm hitting
now.
the record button right now.
Swear to God.
Swear to fucking God, we're doing it. But yeah, it's just been another great year for 48 minutes of dogs barking.
Yeah.
We got the Craig Turkington bump.
Oh, wonderful. We love Greg.
We got I'm sure more weird niche things to explore in 2024.
I've got a list a mile long.
Oh, there's so much dumb fucked up shit. There's stuff that you've never even thought about.
No, I'm sure there isn't. Yeah. All right. Well, this is about the time of the show where we tell everybody where to find us online. Brian, hit them up with where to get you.
Oh yeah, if you want to tell me it's cool that my dog's dead.
Oh God. Jesus Christ. Okay. Yes.
You can find me on the internet at iShotGuiDeBoard on Twitter, aka thenewrotten.com.
All the real sickos out there.
God, yeah, this is like some chick with a BBL saying a hot take about the fucking Tesla truck, and then it's just like crying people in Gaza with tons of gore and dead children that look like Precious Moments dolls brought to life like terrible elf magic. And then it's just someone just being like, actually, age is nothing but a number, and you're like, cool. I hate scrolling on this one. I particularly hate when I actually get stuck on the For You. It's like, what is this?
This
what
is not for me.
Yeah, this is not for me. Yeah, all of Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Red, Blue Sky. I logged into Blue Sky for the first time in like months.
Yeah.
And I guess someone I just decided to follow is like mutuals with my ex.
Ugh.
So then like got to see like images of my ex is getting married. I'm like, cool.
Good to know. All right.
Yeah, cool. I'm also like really great motivation that I know if I ever get married, I'm not going to have a wedding as lame as that.
Hey-o.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
Well, living well is the best revenge.
It is, yeah. If you want to look at photos of mine that I've taken, assholemusicphotographer.com, you want to see like some words I've written to go along with some of those photos, it's amusicphotographer.com. If you want to see the best, last, and only good media website in St. Louis, is the artsstl.com.
Do you have anything coming up? Okay, I was going to say.
I've been waiting for 2 weeks to get confirmation on Zed's Dead, who are performing tomorrow night as of this recording, and it's just really starting to look like that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But hey, if you don't get to shoot that, you can come over to my house and party.
Go to your house and
talk shit about me for hours. Whatever you want to do. Whatever it is.
Here, eat this. Where is it? Don't worry. Don't worry, you little pig.
Yeah.
Snort is oink oink.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, Jason. If they want to make you, if people want to show you things that they want you to eat,
you can hit me up on Twitter and various other places as Videocrime, VIDEOCRIME, with the exception of Instagram and TikTok. Those places I am Laser Goose CEO. You can also find me on Substack, golfwolfmagazine.substack.com. Got a new article in the works. It's about movie musicals, and it's about how much I like La La Land, so I'm not going to send Brian a link to it. But for those of you who want to read it, yeah, it's just a personal favor. And you can also find me on Midnight Pals, is a podcast about fictional versions of living and dead authors around a campfire telling stupid stories. It's gross, it's sexy, it's funny. That is midnightpals.simplecast.com. And you can call the show, 314-246-9766. Tell us how wrong we were about our albums of the year, and I will promptly delete it. You can also shoot us an email, Jason at 48minutesdogsbarking.com, Brian with a Y at 48minutesdogsbarking.com, and you can support the show, patreon.com/48minutesofdogs. Yeehaw! Well, this year has been a bit of a ride. Really glad that it's coming to a close. Excited for what's happening next year. A bit of a preview. We are talking in the next couple weeks to Kathor Jensen, one of our compadres from the old
cum
internet.
shirt guy.
The cum shirt guy. That's right. He did the Doom logo with cum on it. That's going to be about the middle of the month in January. Got a few other super secret interviews lined up, but we're looking good. We're looking like we're gonna have some fun.
I'm excited to see who else we can get on this beautiful show and be like, hey, this person I respect, do you want to see inside of a guy's asshole?
Too bad. Click.
Too bad. We're all listen. This is the only game in town.
That's right. We're going to
Game in
describe
town
it to you if you
wanna
don't want to
see
see
this guy
it.
looks like Adam Savage's asshole.
Well, it's about the time of the show where we say namaste and good luck.
Eat
Eat the knife. That's right.